you're using melee wrong in Deadlock. But don't worry, because in this video, we'll be going over some tips and tricks that you probably didn't know about your melee ability. Melees are a really important aspect of Deadlock combat, as they do significant damage at all stages of the game. Knowing these tricks may help you get the edge over competition in your game. So make sure to stay until the end of the video to see the last tip, because it might just make you play a certain hero completely different. First off, let's talk about how melees can be used effectively. If you didn't know this already, when you melee, you can carry momentum in any direction, allowing you to turn and even do a full 180 while meleeing. This means you can melee around corners, and if you know an enemy is hiding around the wall, you can get the jump on them by starting your melee out of the line of sight and swing around the wall into meleeing them. This will make it harder for them to parry you as well. And most of the time, it should be a good chunk of damage to start or end the fight. Little side note, you can also use this mechanic to avoid taking damage if you're trying to run away. Now, let's talk about meleeing minions. When a minion is killed, it will release a soul orb, and the enemies are obviously orange soul orbs, and so you can shoot those in order to secure souls for yourself. And the enemy team will be trying to do the same for you to secure your blue soul orbs. Meleeing a minion to kill them will not release a soul orb though, and it'll just instantly be granted to you. A great way to do this safely as possible is called a dash cancel. Dashing into an enemy minion to melee finish them is good, but it can be better when you use this mechanic. When you're dashing, you're locked out from doing a melee, but after you dash, you can hold crouch to slide. Releasing the crouch early will allow you to melee immediately. This way, you can time your melee perfectly and not take as much damage from enemy heroes when going for the souls. Now, I bet a lot of you didn't know this, that you can melee while using certain abilities. This can allow you to catch an enemy off guard, especially when you're obviously fighting close quarters. Heroes like Pocket can do this with his briefcase. Just use the ability and then hold melee while it's active. Upon the end of the ability, you will go right into a heavy melee attack with no downtime. This can also be done on Viscus with his cube ability, Ivy with her stone ability, Mo and Krill with their disarm ability, and probably one of the best is Dynamo with his teleport ability. Just hold melee while in the teleporting animation, and you'll perform a heavy melee as soon as the ability ends. And lastly, to tone yourself up with using the melee inside of Deadlock, this one's very situational, but it is a cool thing to know, just in case you need to use it one day. When playing as Paradox, you can actually chain melees together to make the heavy melee have crazy range. And I mean, seriously, this is crazy. To do this, you simply start a heavy melee and then use her special carbine while still holding your melee bind, and it will extend the range that you travel before punching. To get even more crazy, you can do it 3 times. While using your vampiric burst item, you can chain 3 melees together. I mean, just look at this. It is absurd. To be honest with you, the most effective part of this is if you actually land this punch, especially if you kill someone, they're just definitely rage quitting. So it's a way to go from 6v6 to 6v5. So chances are you've not been using melee to its fullest potential inside of Deadlock. If you guys want to help the channel out a ton, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be putting some more Deadlock content together for you since the game has actually been really fun. Can't wait to watch it go to the next level, and until our next video, we'll see you all later, and enjoy playing Deadlock.